everyone, welcome back to Keeping Up with the Chaldeans. I'm Anthony Toma, your host, and today I am blessed with the presence of Francis George McCullough and Stephanie Day. They are with Muscle Care Inc. and I Am Healed. Thank you both for joining us. Why don't we start off with you, Francis, and tell us a little bit about what you do, how you do it, and thanks for joining us again and again.
Yeah, thank you for having us. We are grateful to be on the show. So Muscle Care is a company that's been around for over 40 years.
Okay.
And what we have always done is we've treated pain patterns. So it's a soft tissue treatment, but it's not necessarily a massage. We also do massage at our practice. Stephanie is our massage therapist that does both massage and the functional neuromuscular activation work. That work is treating the fascia, the membrane of what's causing the problem. So just an example of what fascia is, if you take your skin off of your whole body, what you have underneath it is this gigantic spider web that wraps around everything, and there's a nucleus someplace that we have not found yet. Probably within the next 7 to 8 years, that will become an organ. It will be identified as another organ of the body. And this membrane, people get in pain, they think, oh, it's my muscle. But it's this membrane that's tightening, and it tightens from repeating the same thing over time, or it tightens from an injury. And what we do is we look at your body, and you may have a shoulder that's high, and your head might be forward, and you're a little twisted. And we look at those rotations, and then we treat your body not only based on that, but when we touch you, where you didn't realize you had pain, you'll have pain. And that helps us identify where the problem is. And we get results in the first visit. You may not get 100%, but you'll get at least 30% results that will last. And as you know, it's a little uncomfortable. Not that I'm that strong, but it feels like I'm that strong because I'm treating what's causing the problem. Gotcha. So that is our neuromuscular work. What Stephanie does is she does plain massage, well, really not plain, but a pretty specialized massage. And again, as you know, she combines some Thai to it, but she also does a treatment that combines the massage with the neuromuscular work, not as painful. Is it as painful, you think?
I think it just kind of makes it a little less intense.
Yes, okay.
Maybe just isn't painful at certain points, but it kind of mixes it in so it's a little less intense.
Right. And when I first started in this field, I worked only with professional athletes because I could get them back to their sport within an hour of them playing. So they can get back on the court, back on the rink, whatever it was that they could get back because we're treating this membrane and not, the muscle was really intact, but it's that membrane opening it up so that you can have more movement.
We'll talk about the process of the treatment.
So when you come in, we're going to take a look at you. We're going to assess your body. We're going to identify where the discrepancies might be. And you will see them. We'll have you look in a mirror, and you'll see, oh, yeah, I never noticed that before. And most people don't notice it. Only those of us with a keen eye can help you see that. Then we get you on the table. And on the table, we will then, again, you're going to present differently when you're laying down. So when you're standing, you might have one shoulder high in a rotation. When you're laying down, the other shoulder might be high, right? And you may rotate a different way. Either way, we look at that, and then we touch you. And based on where you feel most uncomfortable, just from a gentle touch, that's where we're going to start working. And it's interesting because we only work each area of seconds. We're only in each area a few seconds. As you know, it's uncomfortable. I mean, look at me, I'm not that tall. You know, and you would think I'm strong, but I can't even open up a jar. I can slam a door, but that's it. And it's really nice because all of our business, even with marketing, our business is one person telling another person for the last 40 some odd years. And people know, I actually talk to them up front and go, were you told it's a little uncomfortable? Yes, I was. And they still come in, and I thank them for coming back a second time, honestly, because when Stephanie works on me, I scream and yell and cuss at her. But it's not that she's really trying, I mean, even her, physically on us, it's really not that difficult work. But we have the keen understanding of the muscles and pretty much all the systems of the body and how they work. What I think people are starting to realize is posture affects your organs. So when you're compromised like this, which a lot of people that sit at a desk do, and they don't work out to accommodate that, you're affecting your stomach, your spleen, your diaphragm.
How so?
Because when I'm sitting up like this, my muscles are fully available to behave well.
Okay.
When I do like this, I'm crunching them. The first one is going to be the esophagus. A lot of people have GERD, not realizing that they're putting pressure on their stomach, especially somebody like me with a little bit of weight, on their stomach, and they're pressing down. So the stomach can't open much. So the esophagus, this tube here, is pressing into this.
Okay.
So I'm getting GERD because my stomach can't do this peristaltic
What is
action.
GERD?
GERD is gastroesophageal dysfunction, where you get a lot of gas, you get heartburn, you get, and there's an actual treatment we do in body work for that, where we just pull the stomach down. But here you also have your diaphragm. I can't breathe real well. You also have your pancreas. You know, there's a lot of illnesses going around today that if we started to work on our posture and got those organs and the fluids in the organs to move more freely, we could help ourselves. Even if we were already diagnosed with an illness, we could help that by changing our posture. And I think more and more today you're going to see on social media and people talking and doctors talking about the value of a strong posture.
Yeah.
And from any work we do, whether it be sitting at a desk, my kind of work, a construction worker, you know, whatever the work is, a trade or otherwise, you're going to get caught in a certain behavior. Hairdressers are always here, right? My doctors are always one side. Golfers, let's be clear, you're overusing one side. Same with tennis players. And so what am I doing to accommodate that? Yeah, I'm working out, but I'm working out with my body in this condition.
Yeah.
What we do literally in the first visit is we get you back here because we tore the fascia. And not just in the back or the stomach, we do it where your body reveals it all.
Yeah.
That's why you feel better in the first visit, and that feeling better tends to last, if you can take the...
Yeah, yeah. So there's, what are the tools that you use to break the fascia or tear the fascia, what'd you call it?
We use a lot, yeah, exactly, to break the fascia, tear the fascia, to get the fascia to be more elastic. So I'm going to again use the term on the spider webbing. It's a big giant spider web. If you cut open a grapefruit, when you take that big yellow skin off, let's say a yellow grapefruit, and you have this thick white stuff. Some areas are thicker than others. And those areas that are thicker, a lot of us, we tend to peel that white stuff off. But either way, after you've peeled that white stuff off and you break open the grapefruit,
Fascia.
the fascia, exactly. That wedge, some of the wedges are dry.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't get enough fluid in there because the fascia was so thick in there. And so what we want to do is we want, that fascia carries the waste system, lymph, that carries waste out of the body, bloodstream in it, nervous system in it, fluid in it. So it has contracted enough for one wedge to be very dry. The rest of the pineapple's great.
Yeah.
I mean, the rest of the grapefruit's great.
Yep.
So in your body, it's happening the same way. And so when that pulp gets dry, I get pain. And we call that ischemic. I'm not getting enough oxygen into that area, okay? And so once we open up that fascia and get it to move, now fluid can flow, blood can flow, waste can move out of it, the nervous system can move freely. That's why some people think I have this, you know, radiation down my arm, and they think it's something called a radiculopathy. It's radiating into an area of the arm, and when in fact it's tight fascia. And it feels like a pinched nerve, and everything about it is a nerve that's pinched.
Yeah.
But what's its source? Its source is not from the central nervous system, right? So we understand the human body well enough to know these things. And even today, we guarantee results on the first visit, or you don't have to pay.
Oh.
Yeah, so, I mean, and because we are confident of the results that we can get for this.
So I'm seeing a bunch of items listed on the board there. You want to run through those? Are those services or?
Sure. So we offer at our location, our office is at Maple and Telegraph, first of all. And so we offer this functional neuromuscular activation therapy. There are many therapies called neuromuscular therapy. I developed this functional neuromuscular therapy. My background is in anatomy and physiology. So I understood this concept, and there were many things when you learn in school that just don't make sense to you, at least for me.
Yeah.
And so I said, let me try this out, let me figure this out. And I figured out by really understanding the human body and looking at a body, what their body's telling me. What's fascinating also is we hold emotion in those areas. So just general emotion. By the way, the Bible speaks of these emotions. The low back, what does it represent? I can't, I'm not feeling supported. I don't feel enough support. It can show up from self-support, other people supporting us, being pissed off at somebody being mad at us. Financially, I'm not successful enough. I haven't reached my goal. The measure of success and so on. Your shoulders, obvious, St. Christopher. I have too much, because I can't say no. I'll do it for everybody. I'll get this handled. Or it was always my responsibility, so I do it.
Yep.
And these emotions get released as well, right? So this also occurs for us.
So you have people crying on the table?
Yeah, you cry.
Yeah, I do cry a little bit.
I cry on the table. Some of the problems, we treat pretty much everything. Okay. We have people that come in with back problems, and we work their calf, and they're stunned that their calf hurts. And it solves the problem in their back. If they would allow us to, and we just work the calf, get them off the table, they'd be like, how does my back feel better? You didn't even touch it. Yeah. This has happened to us many times. A lot of things happen in the front that people don't realize, in the abdominal area.
Yeah.
We have had great success with helping women with endometriosis, because endometriosis is where there's a lot of this fascia that we talk about, that's this big giant spider webbing that gets all spider webbed in the fallopian tubes, which are really thin. And so the sperm can't find its way up, and once it gets there, it could be too late because when you have an egg, it's tinier than a pinhead, and that sperm still has to find a window in that. That's why you see these pictures of these sperms bouncing around, right?
Yeah.
And then it has to connect and go back down the tube. A lot of times it doesn't make down the tube, so it's not viable, right? Yeah. So we help a lot of people that way too with cupping. And cupping is something that I learned from my grandmother. It's been happening for millennia, so many years. We used to do it by taking a match, literally, lighting up, getting heat in the cup, placing it on the body, and that would cause the suction. It would suction up the skin, and it would tear up that membrane. It could be uncomfortable. It was done for headaches. It was done for healing more than it was for muscular, but they used it for muscular a lot. I learned really originally from my grandmother. Now we call it cupping. It's happening everywhere.
Yep.
It first really got its big name from the swimmer, can't remember his name all of a sudden.
Mark Phelps?
Mark Phelps. No, even before Mark Phelps. No,
Oh.
after Mark Phelps. The more recent, he's on commercials now, but doesn't matter.
Okay.
So these are some of the things we treat. We treat TMJ. People have a lot of problems in their shoulders, and they think it's their shoulders, and it's from their jaw, right? They get bad headaches, and it's from this muscle, temporal muscle here. And we do a lot of work in the eye to release that tension. The results are spectacular. And they're not like, I just get rid of your headache. Yeah. My headaches have reduced in frequency. They've reduced in severity. I can open and close my jaw now. I feel better. We do some work in the front of the neck also. So we tend to go where no man dares to go. We're going to go into areas, we'll go into your mouth. We do a little bit of work in the eye. That's basically the worst of it. But we'll get into the armpit. We'll get into areas you wouldn't think, or you would think, oh, I wish someone would just go there. And so we know that. We treat knee pains. People come in all the time, and it's not their knees. It's their quadriceps, right? Or it's their calves, right? Or their hips are a little twisted. And so one hip is lower than the other, and the knee hurts instead of the hip. So it's pretty fascinating. And then Stephanie does our massage, and she does NMT work. People love her. She also is getting more referral now from her clients than any place else. And then reflexology, we have a woman who does reflexology and craniosacral therapy at our office. And she is very good. You can connect with her. And then we can just do, like, let's say someone that's at a desk all the time and they don't want you to touch anything else. We can do specific areas, right? But honestly, we treat everything.
Okay.
We ask you if you have an illness and if you're afraid, don't come to us or call us. We'll be happy to talk to you first.
Yeah.
Well, but we work with each person where they're at.
Right.
Some people come in and they are like, this feels great, I don't feel a thing. Other people come in and go, and also depends on, we have a lot of clients that continue to come back. And depending for both men and women, what's going on in their life, 1 week their pain is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
The next week it's, oh man, this is killing me today. So it really depends. But it's a unique treatment.
Yeah, yeah. So for people that are watching, what can we do? Okay, so posture is one for sure, that if we correct that, it would be very beneficial. What else can someone do? Hydrate is another one. What else can somebody do to kind of alleviate some pain that is just persistent?
So you can call me and I'll tell you over the phone, no charge.
Yeah,
Anybody,
okay,
anytime.
okay.
But some of the common things is we like to take tennis balls and put them in a sock. We prefer a sock without a heel in it because you have more control. Literally lay on it from not on your neck, just below your neck to the middle of your back, not down into the low back. And that's going to pull your shoulders back when you lay down on your bed, not on the floor. Do that for 1 minute.
This way or this way?
No, right on the spine.
Oh, right on the spine.
Right
okay.
on the spine. And when you do that, it's going to pull your shoulders back. It's also going to be tender on the spine the next day. But if you did this every day for 1 minute, you're going to start to feel, my shoulders hurt a little bit. Why do they hurt? Because we're opening up that membrane.
Oh, wow.
It's really pretty fascinating. A lot of people have a forward head posture. This is not an uncommon thing. These muscles here in the front of your neck, you can just play with them. Just turn your head and just play with them. That'll help. But right next to those muscles, very uncomfortable. It's really along the vertebrae. This is your vertebrae in the front. Just go find your vertebrae in the front and just glide to the back. It's tender to touch them. But these muscles are holding you forward. And when you can release them, your head will go back.
Okay.
That's a big deal. Because when you do this, you're compromising your lungs and your heart.
Oh, wow.
So, and your jaw can't sit properly. You can't, can be a great cause of headaches. And that's going to pull at your mid-back too. Just try it. Just stick your head out and look what it's doing to your mid-back, right?
Yeah.
It can affect that. Also, when you do that, so the curve in your neck should look like my hand. It should be curved like this. So this would be the front of the body, and this would be the back of the body. When you have this forward head posture, you straighten out your vertebrae. And you've heard this sound, military neck or military back. The curve in your low back and the curve in your upper back should be identical. And when they're not, one has to straighten up. So, and then you're thinking, my neck is straight, but my low back hurts, because all these vertebrae affect each other. And some vertebrae can actually twist. You can have one vertebrae that's twisted like this instead of sitting on top of each other. And when it does that, it doesn't necessarily compromise the nerve, but it does compromise the way a muscle is attached to that bone. And that's a big deal for us. So
And that could be adjusted.
it can be adjusted. It's soft tissue work. We actually work right in the spine. You feel it. Just today, as a matter of fact, I had someone that their neck was killing them. They didn't have full range, and you just work in that little area of that neck, and and we actually hold the vertebrae to help the muscle release and let go. So, but that doesn't negate using a chiropractor or an osteopathic physician. We are not physicians,
Right.
So that doesn't. All of those are valuable. I think healthcare is about your connection with the person.
Yeah.
Please trust the people you go and see. That's
Yeah.
all. And ask questions, please. Ask lots of questions.
What about sleep? How should people sleep these days, or how should they definitely not sleep?
So there is no not sleep. There is no you should sleep this way. Okay. When you sleep on your tummy, eventually your low back's going to be unhappy, right? The fetal position is where you came in.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
you came in the fetal position. There's something valuable about this. It's staying in the same position constantly that is a problem with sleep.
Okay.
The other problem with sleep is the mind chatter. So in my company, I Am Healed, we help people understand mind chatter. People will call up and go, well, how do I get rid of the mind chatter? You don't. Mind chatter is always going to be there.
Okay.
The problem is change the chatter.
Yeah.
Okay, change the chatter. Like I have a 16-year-old boy. What the heck was I thinking? And I adore him, and he's making me nuts, right? And so every night and every morning, I'm like, okay, God, you got this. I'm not going to worry about him. I'm not going to worry if he's going to take his life. I'm not going to worry if he's going to be stupid. For sure he's going to be stupid. For sure he's going to think about taking his life. For sure he's going to do something stupid. So every morning for me, I can actually visualize, I can see it now, this big, beautiful white angel. She comes and she wraps her arms around him. And I'm such a rat. I see him first because I worry about him.
Yeah.
Then I see my daughter. Then I see myself. Then I see my husband. Then I see my dogs. And then I see the rest of the world.
There you go.
That, I have such faith. And this is a fascinating topic because people speak to me about their faith. And they think faith is believing in this religion or that religion. So many people don't understand the true concept that this, in the Old Testament, may I discuss this?
Yeah,
because it's
absolutely,
consistent with healing.
Yeah.
In the Old Testament, in the very beginning of the Bible, God said, I cannot experience life but through you. Life is, if there is a lesson in life, it's from the experience, right? So life truly is an experience. God also said, I made you in my image and likeness. And then towards the end of Genesis, God says, first it is a thought, then it manifests. Then Jesus comes along, this really cool dude, who did this really great stuff, right?
Yeah.
And people go, well, how did God come as man? If everything is energy, and energy never dies, it just changes forms, why can't he come as man?
Yeah.
Why can't he come as a bug or a toad or, a cell? He could come as anything. He could come as the sky. Why can't he? So he comes along, and it's very clear in Matthew, he says, ask believing and know that the minute you ask, it's done. And I'm pretty sure, at least in my time, my mother would always say, be careful what you ask for.
Yeah.
And what she truly meant was, be careful what you ask for. I ask God every morning and every night, thank you so much. Whatever this path is Elliot's on, I'm going to watch it instead of freak out by it.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch it. You got this. I know you got this. There are moments I get freaked out. I have to bring the angel back. I mean, I'll be driving home. I haven't heard from him. He didn't talk to me. I'm like, oh, he stayed home from school because he's a rat. And it's like, and I have to see that angel and not freak out and rush home.
Yeah.
Now I still rush home.
Of course. Of course you do.
But it's this faith is a valuable commodity in our healing process. This place where we can, in the Bible, it also tells us in pretty much every religious sacred book, including the Dead Sea Scrolls. I study this because I was fascinated with people getting mad at God because this happened to me. Okay? I don't know why it happened to you, but God gave you free will and choice.
That's right.
And so, when you are in a place where you want something, I want a healthy relationship, I want to feel good about myself, I want a different relationship with my parents, that's all human behavior. And we don't realize the role we play in it. To this book, The Man He's Stupid and the Girl She's So Bitch.
Yeah.
This book is about understanding that I play a role in my poor, stupid husband's behavior. Okay? He's a wonderful guy. I want to, every day, both of us shake our head at each other. Every day I'm like, I've been telling you for the past 20 years, please don't put that there.
Yeah.
Right? Now I move the damn chair, so we can't put it there.
Yeah.
There was something in my behavior. And one day I said to him, John, you never complain, because men don't generally complain. Some do, but not as much as women do. And I said, you never complain. Isn't there anything you want to complain to me about? He said, yeah. I said, what? He said, stop complaining about me.
Yeah. There you go.
The book really is for women to understand that you guys really are good guys. You don't operate like us. But what role am I playing in shaking my head at you?
Yeah.
What role can I accept that you're going to put it down there? Yeah. Do I like it? No.
Yeah.
But does it make you less of a person? No. It just means you're going to make me crazy. And by the way, we make you crazy.
Yeah.
You just don't express it like we do. And human behavior is a big deal. I coach a lot of people. It's interesting on the business end. I coach a lot of people. We do a lot of meditation to understand. I want to make a really good deal with this person, but I want to feel really good about what I've done. But I want them to feel good too.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for caring. How can we do that? So we go into meditation and we visualize and we give it to source energy, God, whatever you want to call it, and that person feels good about it. And that energy, that feeling comes off of your body and it resonates really far. So that person that's having whatever experience they're having, they feel good about you. They feel safe about you. They trust you. in our world today, we must honor the God that lives inside of us as us by being good to us and knowing we're not perfect and understanding that we have power, that the power of our happiness is not about what you or what you give to me. The power of my happiness is about what it is I want and how to have it without making you responsible for it.
Right.
Or you responsible for it.
For sure.
How do I do that? We've never been taught that. We've never been taught to really understand this concept of faith. I just had a client call me up and she had come to me because she was a little bit later in age, not related to me, but a little bit later in age, and she really wanted to get married. She was ready. She had been available to help her family, and now she wanted a man of her own. And we did some meditations and some coaching, and she finally got to the point where she got faith. She goes, "You're not going to believe it, but I can feel this. I love the relationship I'm in. I can feel it." And she just reached out to me and said, "By the way, I'm dating this really great guy.
Oh.
It's definitely a future." I'm like, that's so exciting.
That's
and not
awesome.
just that, people that have illnesses that come in and either they'll do a healing or they'll do coaching or we'll take them into a meditation that, I feel so good I can't get over it. I feel great. And to be able to live feeling good and maybe go on for a long time without worrying about, oh my God, I'm going to die one day. I only have a year to live, or I have this illness. And, they only know what they know.
Yep.
And so that's what we do in the I Am Healed portion of our work. Stephanie and I often work together. We often. And by the way, we're looking for more employees. I'm an educator as well, so I provide CEs. And we're a fun
What are
company.
CEs?
Continuing education credits.
No.
We provide them through the National Body Workers Association. And we're fun to work.
So I've been doing a massage for 20 years before I met Frances, and I can tell you that what she's taught me has changed my practice so much, because not only can I just make people feel better for the moment or help them to relax, but I can actually work with what's wrong with them that's causing the pain to begin with, and it's like such a difference in being able to help to heal people when you can actually fix things, in a way that makes them a lasting
Right.
change to them. Not to mention, with the coaching, she's also been an amazing coach to me. So I've been getting double the education, not even intentionally, but just her ability, as she does with her clients. I often see them come in for their back, and she's fixing their life, and so that just comes from not them telling her anything, but she's got this intuitive nature to be able to read the body and the soul, I guess.
This all comes from experience. The education comes from the experience of working side by side with such a knowledgeable individual that's studied and practiced.
And we are team players. Like, for years I thought I was a terrible boss till I read Gino Wickman's book.
Yeah.
Then I realized I was an amazing boss because
Which one?
I read Traction.
How to be a
I think How to Be a Good Boss.
Great boss, yeah.
Yeah. And we like to be team players, right? I may have brought you in and I may be the person paying you, and doing the marketing and all this kind of stuff for you. But we're a team. We got to work together. The more, if something's going on in your personal life, let's open that door, because your happiness reflects the client, right?
Yep.
And you're feeling good about you. I am willing to be wrong, but I think everyone is perfectly fine. We're all going to screw up. We're all going to do stuff somebody doesn't like. Like somebody said to a kid that I know, "You're never going to amount to anything." And I'm like, that was one person, buddy.
Yeah.
One person. Okay,
Yeah.
don't believe them. I don't care if they were authority or not. That means nothing. Hopefully that will challenge you more to say, you know what, you wench, I'm going to do something differently.
Yeah.
Right? And we get caught up in these thoughts, in these behaviors, in these, I had a woman that I was working with that is not so tiny, and she was told she was never going to meet anybody. I'm like, it has nothing to do with anything.
Yeah.
That's, there are people that have no problem with, your size is not relevant to love.
And I feel like, and I don't know this person, but that's within her control, right?
It's within her control, but
Yeah.
she didn't know that.
Okay.
She didn't know that because what we say to each other, including to me.
Yeah, words are powerful.
Words are powerful. People say words to me, and I have to go, oh, wait a minute. My husband, I'll do like this. I go, get out. That is not, you know. I
Fruit
think.
ninja game.
Yeah, exactly. The power, you and I discussed this on a podcast we did, and I said we each are our own superheroes.
Yep.
And together, the combination of people loving each other and wanting the same thing for you. So I don't tell a lot of people stuff about me, because then you have that one that only can worry.
Yeah.
Or you have that one that doesn't want it for you. Or you have that one that's going to tell you that you're doing it the wrong way. And, you know, and when you can trust source energy, God, Jesus, when you can have a relationship with these things, the power is unbelievable. And it's as simple as saying, thank you so much that I'm living till I'm 90 years old, healthy and physically fit.
Yeah.
I'd like to go, thank you so much, I'm going to get taller. But I wish it was that important. You know, people have said to me, well, if you're so powerful, how come you don't lose weight? It's not that important to me. I'm good with me, right? I'm okay. Would I like to lose weight? Yes, but you know, I like food a little bit more.
Yeah.
So, and it's funny because I'll have people, women that'll come in, like with this young lady. This is recent. We work with a lot of people that look for mates, or a lot of business people. This is not new to our company. I tell them, tell nobody, and talk about the success when it happens, not the journey when you're on it.
Yeah, there you go.
Right? Because when you talk about the success that happens, it's in retrospect. But when you talk about the journey you're on, unless you've already passed that part of the road, right? Then people are going to tell you, no, you should have taken this road. Why didn't you take that one?
Yeah.
No, you shouldn't have done it. It's right or wrong.
There's going to be more signs.
Yes.
More detours.
Yes, yes. And the same is, these things in this company, the physical body, the mental body, the spiritual body, right? The emotional body, they're really all one. And one reveals itself through the physical pain. One reveals itself for the happiness or non-happiness I think I don't have in my life. Some people are very happy being whiny and critical. They're happy.
Yeah. Sure.
It works for them, you know. So human behavior in every way is a valuable understanding, and we need each other. And we need to be able to not be critical of somebody. When a woman comes to me and says, my girlfriend say I married her, you know, that my boyfriend was an asshole now that we're broken up, I'm like, listen, you made a good choice.
Yeah.
It served you. When a friend says to another friend, he's an asshole, he wasn't. You have faith in your friend. It was a good road for her. She's done now, that's okay.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean he was bad or wrong. And also, what role did she play in it? You know, sometimes we're so anxious to have a relationship that we'll take the guy that beats the crap out of us and has no money, and, you know, and that's true for both men and women. And I think as friends, if we could honor each other a little bit more and care and support each other, not with our opinion, but with God's love, we would feel more powerful.
Yeah, that's a great way to close the show out. We appreciate that. Appreciate you both coming out.
Thank you.
And engaging and giving our audience something to think about, something to contemplate,
Thank
and
you.
ways to improve their lives. Appreciate you. Go get the book. Go see the ladies at their 248-935-6000.
Yeah.
Give them a shout and get scheduled and go get an evaluation.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Anthony.
Thank you, of course. Thanks.
Have a great day.